Yeah, let's do some reaction videos today. I'm gonna react to my brother's fitness channel. You can say that he's had plenty of videos. You know, 4 videos in 10 days. Or so I think before this I've seen these videos, at least glanced at them. So I'm gonna only react to videos that I've not seen before. Right off the bat, looking at the thumbnails, we have to address that they are pretty terrible. Like these AI thumbnails, they, aside even the fact that his body looks nothing like that, like, you know, when you hover and the guy just looks completely different in the video. I mean that would make you not want to even watch the video at all. And I don't think it's surprise at all that this video has the most views. Of course, he has a track record of buying subscribers and buying views. So I don't know if this is actual stat or you know, just bought that views. But yeah, it's not. I would believe that it could be organic. Like this is the kind of video that would get some views. And this, as crude as the thumbnail is, it's functional. It's not like these videos where you feel like it's completely misleading. The way I kind of assess the fitness levels of people, it's like there's the beginner level, of course, which is where most people are, and then there's the low moderate level where we've gotten some progress, and high moderate level where I would consider myself to be, where you are already like clearly above the average, and then you know, advanced and elite. So he's somewhere at the bottom end of the advanced when it comes to purely weightlifting. Probably high moderate at his best with the condition, but it's kind of hard to assess because when he achieved his best condition, he was like in his early 20s, whereas I'm 38, so it's not directly comparable, because to achieve same level at 38 than as somebody is in their early 20s or late teens, it's much more difficult. The headline is a little misleading, I think, but I think in the video, the actual content, I agree with. It's just, you know, these AI names, some of them are not very descriptive of what's actually in the video. But yeah, let's go. Train smarter, not harder. Recover, strength, and natural fitness explained. But I mean, this one was probably the worst. These two are the worst thumbnails. Like this looks so distorted. Like it's just a hilarious picture. And this one is like the face is so like, what the hell is going on there? Anyway, let's watch the video.
Out Edison. The ABC of it is you train too much, you go weaker, you become weaker. If you train too little, you just stay on the same level. But if you train the right amount, this is what we are looking for. If you can actually train the right amount, this is gonna make you better. But that is the hardest thing to determine.
Is it really that hard? I mean, essentially all you have to do is train a little bit more than last time, or a little bit harder than last time. So it's not really that complicated in the end.
I didn't do anything for 2 weeks, and my record went up in strength, let's say 20%. Stuff like this can happen if you look into it, but that can be one of the hardest things for a person who.
I don't think there's not anything hard. Like, and that's a basic concept, is that like the idea of tapering after a hard training phase, so you can rid yourself of most of the fatigue and peak for the performance. But then but at the same time, you need the hard training actually to need that time off. Like if you didn't do anything before that 2 weeks off, then the 2 weeks would not do anything. It's like you have to have the accumulated fatigue from heavy training for an extended period of time before that 2 weeks can do anything.
So counterintuitive, especially when we live, psychologically speaking, when we live in this world where everybody are trying to push, do, you need to do stuff to get stuff done.
Yeah, but the thing is that when it comes to training context in particular, like most people are just not doing anywhere close to enough or hard enough. Like people are just not training hard enough at all, broadly speaking. So almost nobody ends up overtrained except professional athletes, and even among them, it's not really that common.
oftentimes we tend to think also that more you do, the more you get, and also comparing to others, it's a competition. You try to become better, so you need to do more than the other guy you're competing.
Well, I mean, it depends again what you're doing, but as particularly in running, the placement in a competition is in a pretty direct correlation between who did the most miles for in the training. So it holds true most of the time. If you're training, one guy's training 5 hours a week, and another guy's training 10 hours a week, you really can't make up that deficit by training smarter. It's just too much difference in training volume.
If you train every day this parameter, you're gonna overtrain. They talk about concept of
I don't think they would be called overtraining because dips are not systemically that intense, especially with body weight, and especially if you can do 30, then it's not systemically so strenuous for you, even if you're heavy. But what will happen is that it's a pattern overload onto your elbows or shoulders, so you are probably gonna develop some sort of tendinitis to your elbow. But that's not overtraining, that's a different thing. That's the wrong term to use.
Follow potassium. I think that's one principle, write it down. Many people overlook this. I don't hear any fitness people really talking about it. They talk about protein and they simplify too much. Overlooking, very important thing.
Well, I would say that potassium is important, but it is under in the hierarchy from protein. So it's like if you're really getting insufficient protein, that's you should aim to hit first before you worry about potassium. And you probably get enough potassium if you just eat plenty of potatoes anyway.
I did grow my thigh circumference to be 70 centimeters. I have 40. This is bodybuilder level, circumference with this. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but bodybuilders are 6% body fat, and this guy is like 20% body fat. So it's like you can't compare the circumference because those marbled steaks full of fat. That's the kind of situation it is. Well, to be fair, we do have quite lean hands even at higher body fat, but it's gonna go down. I mean, my hands lost like half an inch just from me cutting from high teens body fat to 10%. So you're gonna lose some size in your arms going down. Then that necessarily doesn't have to be lean tissue loss. It can just be you have less fat now, so the circumference goes down. So it's like are we talking really about somebody who's so that big? I don't know.
32 is my forearm.
I think it maybe if that was the case, like if he was lean and the same measurements, then yeah, okay, that's cool. That's quite big. That would be definitely in the advanced category for that particular trait.
Pull-ups, chin up.
Well, yeah, that's a chin up, not a pull up.
Mostly, I like to focus on doing that. I like this look more than this open look. This too wide, weird. I don't like these muscles. It's just me. I'm sorry. I don't like that Bruce Lee weird. That's what I use, flying squirrel look. Funny look to me.
Well, I mean, either way, either form you do, you're building primary lats. So I mean, when you're doing chin-ups or pull-ups, obviously pull-ups is slightly more emphasizes slightly more, but you're gonna I also prioritize chin-ups for the most of my lifting time, but my lats are my most significant muscles, so it's really why are you even doing it if you don't want to build your lats up?
If you do just stamina work, let's say zone 2 cardio, mostly just this light jogging, let's say.
I'm pretty sure light jogging for him is zone 3 or zone 4 already.
120 to 130 BPM. You can push it 135, so it's low.
Yes, 135. I don't go, that wouldn't be considered zone 2 anymore.
Zone 3 maybe. 140 going into zone 3. Zone 4 would be the competition. So the boxes are endurance, stamina, cardio, endurance. Then you have strength. It's low reps, longer intervals of rest interval. 3 to 5 minutes, some say, but let's say 2 to 3, 4 minute rest.
Yeah, rest times get talked about a lot, even though it's a complete minor. But if you actually try it out, you do max reps after 3 minutes rest and max reps after 5 minutes rest, you lost at least a couple of reps if you only rest 3 minutes. So, you know, if you believe in the training intensity, then clearly the longer rests are better. Now, of course, if you are training every 2 minutes, you are going to make up for the lost reps in training volume. So if your approach is more volume based, then, you know, shorter rest will work.
Then you have power. Strength and power are different things. How quickly you can move this object. How fast you are at sprinting. That's the difference. That's why it builds your different body, which style of training you're focusing on. I think most effective body is the one that uses all the categories, I think. If you're a fighter, you kind of want to do mostly power work, but stamina also. But then there's hypertrophy. That's different.
Yeah, everybody should do hypertrophy, to be honest. Like, you need to fill out your frame. Like, even if you're a fighter, you gotta fill the frame out. Like, even athletes have hypertrophy blocks. They might not train all the time like bodybuilders, but even they have hypertrophy blocks where they do fill out the muscles. And, you know, when you see athletes moving from youth sports to becoming professionals, you usually see them fill out their bodies. And, you know, you see it in combat sports too. Like, think about young Dustin Poirier versus when he was older, he had to move up in a weight class because he had filled out his muscles, and that's how you have the optimal amount of muscle is not none. It's you have to at least have moderate gains in the hypertrophy realm.
And strength, power, and hypertrophy. Mostly
the rest periods here are complete BS. Like, for hypertrophy, the longer rest works as well. So yeah, you don't really improve hypertrophy by having super short rests.
Use these bodybuilding parameters. So this is short rest intervals between sets.
Yeah, Jay Cutler famously used short rest intervals, but then there's guys like Mike Menzer and Dorian Yates who would just hit the muscle with like absolute maximum intensity for 1 or 2 sets only, and, you know, rest long between the sets, because, you know, you can't put out a maximal effort every 2 minutes. Like, it's different approaches, many ways to skin a cat. So it's like, it's not set in stone what works, particularly when you're using anabolics to help it.
It's very much this overgrowth of muscle, and there you can use hypertrophy.
Yeah, well, you are not gonna develop overgrowth of muscle if you are not on gear. Like, that's just, I've been warned about this myself, and I've been praying, like, please give me that overgrowth of muscle. But I mean, you can see it never happened. No matter how much I tried to force it, it hasn't happened.
It's for joint support, I mean. If you have a lot of muscle around your knee will be more supported. This is what I'm saying. That's why you use the parameter.
It's not just joint support. Like the bigger your muscle is, the more strength potential it has. So it's like, okay, you can be very strong with small muscles. So that's a high pound for pound strength, but there's only so far you can take it, like, until your muscle just can't become any stronger than that. It will have to become bigger to become even stronger. So you move up your strength ceiling by increasing the size of your muscles.
When we go bodybuilding and gym, that's why it's gonna eat out from the category of endurance.
Yeah, but again, you're not gonna build so much muscle as a natural that it actually would, like, nerf you in any way. Like I don't know, it's just not gonna happen, and I don't think it's realistic gonna happen to anyone. Maybe if you have some sort of like freak 1 in a million genetics, but even then, it's not like sure, you might compromise a little stamina or whatever, agility, if you become more muscular than what you would have been otherwise. But you will gain stuff too. From, like, you will be obviously stronger and more explosive as a result of having more muscle. So it's not just nerve, and it's not so black and white. Like, I think there's a lot of cope about muscular guys like that. Oh, well, it's not functional, but that's all cope. Like, all things being equal, same guy having more muscle is gonna be better.
This is gonna be big muscle that it's not very efficient with oxygen, possibly. But now that there.
Well, that's why it's a separate training it's a separate category to train it to be efficient with the oxygen. Like, just because it's big doesn't mean that it's inefficient. Oh, it is expensive in terms of oxygen, consumption. But again, most people are not gonna build so much muscle that they're gonna like massively nerf their efficiency.
This hypertrophy doesn't ask your nervous system so much. Do you understand? The central nervous system. The nervous system that goes in your back. The central nervous.
Yeah, I mean, strength training doesn't necessarily build your muscle, but hypertrophy training will build your strength. So yeah, they're different, but you will get stronger from hypertrophy training.
So the strength in its core is mostly the central nervous system function. This is why you see very small people who can deadlift 250 kilos. That's the system they trained.
The cleaner guy, Anatoly, he can lift 300 kilos, even though he's my size. So yeah, I mean, obviously, if you push your muscles to the extreme, you can achieve quite impressive pound for pound strength. Or I mean, in Anatoly's case, it's not just pound for pound. Like, that's actually just really strong. 300 kilos lift is a really strong lift at any size.
Endurance in a 12-minute run, Cooper test. They might not be good at that. It's a trade-off. You can be super.
I mean, there is a trade-off, but at the same time, often the athletic people who are really talented athletically, they can kind of pick anything and they'll excel. Like, so they could be endurance athletes and they could be power athletes. It's just whichever they do.
Categorized, specialized to this category. If you see these categories, now you understand where I'm going with this. And when we were...
But at the same time, I think that the objectively correct way to train, if you're not training a particular sport, training to compete in a particular sport, which is most people, it's at least 80% of people do not train to compete in a particular sport. So if you're just a normal person, the objectively correct way to train is to be a generalist. To build hypertrophy, to build some strength, to build good endurance, all at the same time, because there is no benefit from you to specialize into one area unless you just like it. Then that's a different matter. But then you're not asking what's optimal or ideal. But you know, for your health, for your overall like well-being, you're supposed to be just a strong generalist, not specialize in any particular area of the fitness.
Different sport creating different body type. This is the whole thing. Now you can train.
Yeah, but the body doesn't. The sport doesn't so much create the body than your body chooses what sport you are good at. So if you are like me, skinny, narrow-framed, all slow twitch muscle, then obviously you're gonna gravitate towards endurance sports. And similarly, if you have high natural muscle mass, mostly fast twitch wipers, you are gonna gravitate towards explosive sports. If you have a large frame and kind of mixed muscle fiber types, then you might gravitate towards something like strongman style training. Again, so it's or if you're like a very tall, then you're gonna play basketball. It's not, or volleyball, but it's not like the body changes from the sport so much. Then you just choose the sport because you have a certain body. Now, obviously, I'm not saying there is no change. Obviously, if the sprinter guy starts training marathon, he will lose some muscle mass. He will bias a little bit more to the slow twitch. But at the same time, the body type is still gonna be like roughly the same. Like you're still gonna be more muscular than average person if you have that. Like if you're gifted in that area, even if you train kind of against it.
It's like when you see arm wrestling training, very specialized type of strength and technique. The whole body is a chain. If you think about
now we're kind of going off tangents here.
Boxing, you want the punch coming from your...
Like what are we ever saying? Like it's just going all over the place right now.
Like technical training, techniques, right form, right posture, but stretching, having the right enough mobility. But all of
like this is just like free association at this point.
Those things play to each other. If you look at a big guy like Mike Tyson and look him doing jump rope, that is so nice leg work. Bald, very tall guy, quickly doing those. It's looking like this when they're doing curls. It's just quickly moving the weight. just to train that system.
No, that's not curls. That's a clean.
It's very totally different. You have much more control with bodybuilders. They do like this.
Yeah, but this is just a complete misunderstanding. This is a different movement. Clean is explosive, like hip extension movement, and curl is a bicep hypertrophy builder. So it's a completely different movement. Like, it's not them doing the same thing differently. It's a completely different thing.
And maximal range of motion of them. Different style, different result, different adaptation.
Completely different move, done for different purpose. Like, it's
More
explosive
oxygen.
power.
Better VO2 capacity. Also talking about the heart, the shape of the conditioning of the heart. But I'm gonna leave it.
That's really nothing to do with heart. That particular thing.
It's kind of going off topic, and you easily
There's
start
going to
losing it a
tangents.
little bit. Because
But yeah, in broadly speaking, conclusion about that video, the general categories of training, to categorize the training, it's very basic, but yeah, it's true. You basically want to do kind of categorize your training to strength, power, hypertrophy. That's basic stuff. Very, very simple for the most part. I mean, there was a couple of factual errors, but and it kind of branched off on tangents, and let's go to the next video.
peace out, Edison Fitness. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today is Wednesday, 8th of April 2026. Yeah, it's gonna be next Tuesday. It's a week from now, basically. I'm gonna again measure this body fat. Like this is like I'm just demonstrating
part
what
I've
I
seen
do,
so
how because I know it just might help you to get motivated. I think this is why this is very important.
I'm feeling so
I share
motivated
this.
right now.
I think influencing, especially if it's positive influencing, it's all about giving energy. Report.
So I mean, the production value is way up in this video. Obviously, it's not just talking, and it's a funny start. Let's see if the video actually, because this name of the video and the thumbnail is terrible, so the expectation is not very high. Very, very slow fade.
Niin mitä me harjoitellaan tässä? Niin me harjoitellaan siis sitä 100 metristä lähtöä käytännössä.
Staggered stance deadlifts are better for this.
Ja sit me yritetään olla niin voimakkaita kuin mahdollista.
Obviously can't be done with a regular bar. I just feel sorry for the floor. But yeah, for an explosive set, that's too long actually. Let me see, how many seconds was that? Start set 2:10. It's with the borderline. It's on the borderline because the phosphocreatine system that's used for the explosive bouts, that lasts about 8 to 10 seconds. So, for pure explosiveness, I think 5 seconds is better set length. So 3 to 5 reps maybe. But 6 kind of like pushes towards that lactic capacity training rather than pure lactic power. Yeah, the body didn't stay straight there during the acceleration, so like he was bent at the hips. Can still get better technically. Like how far forward you can lean during the sprint is a function of how strong your legs are, because obviously you're gonna need more power to not just fall on your face the more you lean forward. I'm stating in my training programs here that as a warm up I might do here when starting the boxing 10 minutes of jump rope, but because I don't really do 10 minutes, I was used to doing in 10 minutes. I think that boxing is, to be honest, it's kind of bad. I don't criticize because I'm not technically perfect either. But I mean, obviously you see technically good boxers, professionals, and that boxing just it's you can't judge pro standards a guy who's not a pro.
The sweat. The goal of training is to become better. That means I became better in long run. It's almost like saying, it says there 10 minutes of jump rope. Now it's not 10 minutes anymore. Back in the day, it might have been. When I started practicing jump rope when I was 16, 17 years old, I have even video when I was like 17 doing jump rope.
We're spending quite a lot of time on something that wasn't even on the title.
Roll the clip here.
Yeah, it's interesting how much worse his punching mechanics have gotten over the years, because he's better in these old videos.
For half an hour every day, until I got this inflammation here. This, it has a name, I think. Penikkatauti in Finnish at least.
Yeah, I mean, what I was talking in the previous video, pattern overload. Like it's better to switch up the activities you do a little to avoid the pattern overload. But here it's the same issue. It's like he hinges at the hips instead of having a straight lean forward.
First 4 kilometers is done. Not this best.
Why is this sparkle clip on this one here?
You know, nothing special about it.
See, you wouldn't expect a guy who's professionally like audio engineer to have like I have to always criticize his videos for like sound issues. Like, why is this particular clip on just one ear? Like, why does not he switch it to both ears?
I think I keep my heart rate like, let's say 127, and my speed is maybe 9 kilometers per hour. So it's just jogging, not even.
That's how fast I run. And I'm a sub 25k runner, so if you're 100 kilos and you don't actually run that much, you're probably going way too fast if you run that fast. So he's probably zone 3, if not zone 4. On the front part of my toe, yeah, it's very therapeutic, low zone. Maybe it's more like zone 2 just. No, this is zone. Relaxed. It's zone 3 for sure. That was my heads up. Nature. Like here out of breath. Like, you're not supposed to be that out of breath during an easy run. Like real zone 2, you don't breathe pretty much at all. Just wanted to show you this. I'm going to the opposite direction. That's so beautiful. No, that's not zone 2 if you're breathing that heavy. Rough grounds here. It's literally coming closer. That's close to threshold training already, with how heavy he breathes. Very cold shower here, and hit it for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I go to the coldest. Cold showers are a great way to make yourself miserable. Oh, like that's by the way one reason why we see so bad times today. Like I should be able to go like under 105 at least. Pretty easily. Again, what are we trying to do with the run here? I barely run 105 for 10k on my easy runs. Like, yeah, I can run it in like 42 minutes if I'm maxing out. But what are we doing here? Are we training or are we testing our fitness? Like, you're not supposed to go that hard, especially at a guy this size. Like, you're supposed to take it easy. You should target more like 70, 75 minutes at most. But I have huge DOMs from Monday, and yeah, I mean, no wonder you're gonna be sore if you're going too fast all the time. Accumulative DOMs from Tuesday, and now it's Wednesday, and maybe the ground was a little rough, as you saw in the video. Also, I was running yesterday. I was running the day before that. Maybe it's a little bit too much. Remember my weight and my. Yeah, this is where a lot of the criticism for running comes from. Is actually like people. It's not the running that's the problem per se. It's the fact that people don't know how to like manage their training load. They running is very easy to overdo. So this guy is talking about running 3 days in a row. Like that's a red flag right there. I don't even run every day. I run every other day only. So yeah, it's too much. It's just too much. And too fast. Like, okay, maybe you can run every day if you keep the volume in check and make sure that you're running sufficiently slowly.
Weight is a little up. Might be due to salt. I'm now bouncing a little bit.
It's probably likely due to eating more.
I don't like it, but I try with this.
Yeah, those kind of measurements, they can be compared to each other, but they are not like giving you any accurate numbers.
102.5 or something like this, but now I've been lowest, even 95. I want that to be in the measuring at least 95. This is gonna be extremely hard because it's next Tuesday. Did I say it's Thursday? It's gonna be next Tuesday. I don't know, my brain.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna see the results in this video
because
too.
of TikTok.
Okay, I don't really want to see him in the shower. Why would you include this in the video?
Run was big success. I did do 108, I think was the end result. I felt great after.
Okay, it's more tolerable speed, but it's still, I would argue that all things considered, he's probably too fast. Like he's 20 kilos bigger than me, and he's only running barely slower than me, so I think it's probably bad. Maybe again, what are we doing here? If it's a tempo run or like threshold run, okay, sure, can be fine. But you know, it was stated in the video earlier that he thought he was doing zone 2. So you're not doing zone 2 if you're going that fast. If you're breathing that heavy, it's not zone 2. It is more like a threshold training, or sub-threshold at least.
You try to grow those legs. Like I have 71 centimeter or 70 centimeter, rounded to 70 thigh circumference. I can show you. I will show you in later videos when I go to that, you know, more.
I don't think most, like, okay, I am a fitness enthusiast. I obviously am very into this stuff. And to me, thigh circumference, like it doesn't register at all. Like I have no idea how is 70 a big thigh or a small thigh. Like I don't know. So it's a strange thing to like mention.
I would be hassle right now, but
now I mean, maybe it's been mentioned by people, but like especially in the bodybuilding community, probably makes sense. You know, maybe I don't pay attention to that stuff. That's why I not registered it.
It shows 75, but then I was fat, so I'm losing that fat rapidly. Just saying.
Yeah, so I mean, by the time you hit like sub 15 body fat, it's not gonna be that thick anymore.
Even doing that heavy squatting, maybe not even 100 kilos I do anymore.
100 is fine if you do it like for a 12 reps or something.
Not even that much volume because
But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's really that interested about his thighs or his thigh training, to be fair, especially from a video like this that's supposed to be motivation.
Hormones, less of trainer, like this, what's the word?
This has gone through post-production, so why not just cut these arms off?
Going into the vagal relaxation, you know, this rest and digest mode.
Well, I mean, it seems like he's not following his own advice, like he's talking about running every day, and then, you know, we saw that the run was very fast. It's like there is too much still being happening.
Enough. I've been very much this do, and that's gonna, when you are young, that's gonna very much give you results, because you are so...
I mean, when you're young, you could just kind of throw shit on the wall, and you know, you recover much more. But like when you're older, you gotta train smarter, and you gotta get the maximum amount of stimulus out of all the fatigue that you incur. So yeah, again, if you're doing a run to be at zone 2 to run, zone 2 running would be the best form of running, because it's like least amount of fatigue for the most amount of stimulus. Now, if you do a tempo run like he did, basically, you are gonna get slightly more stimulus, but you're gonna get a lot more fatigue.
Think about the result. How long is the static long jump? This is what I'm interested in.
See, that's the definition of like shooting an arrow and painting a bullseye around it where it landed. It's like, would he care about broad jump if he just didn't happen to be good at it? Like, nobody talks about broad jumps. Like, seriously, nobody does. Like, are you a long jumper? Is that your sport? Painting this bullseye wherever your arrow happened to land. So it's like, I am good at this, so this is what I actually was going for the whole time. This is why I respect situations more where you say in advance, like, okay, this is my goal. My goal is to run 3000 in Cooper test or something like that, and then you achieve it, rather than, oh, by the way, my broad jump is really fucking good. You never targeted a broad jump. Like that's just something that you happen to be good at because you're athletic or whatever, like high level natural athleticism. Like, why does he care about broad jump? Like, nobody talks about broad jump. Like that would be actually an interesting video, like him explaining like why broad jumps are so important to him.
Don't get too complicated, keep it simple. If there is too much information, that's not good if you want to get somewhere.
Well, I'll give it to him that like these videos are not super information dense, so you're not gonna get information overload from these, that's for sure. Okay, let's see the next one. So this might have already the...
Mut toi on se tuppi suojaus keskelle. Ja sit sä löi ympäri. Näette niin jalat tapahtuu taas.
Well, I mean, he could put his feet much wider and generate even more power.
Kaikki on synkronoitu.
Like for a boxer, that's quite narrow.
Toikin kääntyy, näette toi jalat kääntyy tonne. Siksi on niin paljon voimaa.
Like that going so square style only works if you have good guard and you are really explosive, which, you know, it's obviously learned from Mike Tyson, but when you're kind of lumbering, it exposes you a lot to be that square.
Yourself on that right path and know you're actually on the right path, at least in this environment.
Yeah, I mean, I would want some accountability from him, like he only talks about the goals he achieved, but he does not talk about the goals that he failed, like the Cooper test goal. And obviously that's imposed by me and the bet that we made. But at the same time, it was a good goal, and like if he actually achieved or even got close to it, that would have been very good for him in the big picture too. Almost 2 years ago at this point, so it's like, you know, whatever negative effects that kind of training would have gotten out of him, like he could have already offset those and still had like a high level of conditioning on top of it as well.
Of sports. So I'm talking about benchmarking yourself, measuring yourself.
Yeah, you have to have goals. You have to have measurables. Like you have to keep yourself honest. That's the most important thing about the goals. If you're not actually achieving what you're set out to do, then your training is clearly not working.
This is very much gonna determine how healthy you are. Stay as a male, under 94 centimeters. This lowers the metabolic risks. Then talking about,
They got 77 centimeter waist.
taking those data points, having those for the future.
Let's measure it live on camera right now. I have to measure here. I gotta move this down. So it's measured at the navel. Yeah, it's exactly flat on 77.
Then you measure again after becoming maybe stronger. Maybe you became stronger, but you actually lost some thigh circumference. You see those data points. What you did, that's the training program. That's the data point again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's again what I said in the end of previous one. It's like, does thigh circumference matter at all? Not really. I don't think anybody is particularly concerned about it unless you're a bodybuilder that wants really thick thighs.
I want to maximize my pull-up strength, dip strength, my static vertical jump. Bench press, I want to have, that's my benchmark. It just happens to be the weight I have, round weight I happen to have in my weights at my home gym. So it's 91 kilos of repetitions. Also I experiment with 100 kilo maximum reps. I'm at 9 repetitions with 100. I don't know, I've been a little bit becoming worse in that, but becoming better at something else. So it's interesting to see what happens. It's just a little bit overtraining.
No, I think it's more likely to relate to losing body size, losing weight. So it is difficult to keep your strength all the way where it is when you lose weight. Nor some strength loss is normal, but as long as the ratio, but the body weight is staying the same maybe even improving. I think that's what I would be concerned about.
But this is good when I have the data points. I did like this and it made me a little bit worse. Now I understand it. Now I can tweak the system.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a really, it really is just a function of body weight here.
Sometimes less is more. Sad thing. Well, it's both. It's in good and bad, because isn't it kind of?
Yeah, getting 137 kilos on a calculator is nowhere near the same as actually lifting 137 kilograms.
A cool thing to do less and actually getting better.
By the way, this video looks like total bullshit too, so I mean, I might react to it some other time.
Like,
He should get himself
again, recovery, you know.
You should get some sort of gimbal or something like that, because that's the picture could be much more stable.
But you can have some kind of body fat measuring scale. Those are randoming numbers. I don't.
Seriously, you don't need any of this stuff. It's just like take your waist circumference. That's good enough. And I look in the mirror, like be honest with yourself about is the mirror looking better or not. And if your waist size is going down, you are actually losing body fat usually too. The depth is kind of not that great. I mean, not that I would get any deeper. I mean, I'm using trap bar, so because I am severely crippled in terms of my mobility. For good squats, you look at the guy like Klokov, Dmitry Klokov. That's the guy to watch if you want to know how to lift. And that guy just sits in the deep squat with like 200 kilos on his shoulders. That's the depths you want to be hitting. But obviously not everybody has structure to go that deep. But not everybody has the structure to go that deep. But this really like goes kind of slow. It's like short, if anything. And of course, who knows what kind of weight this is in here.
To my knee
Probably
here.
about 100 he mentioned earlier.
And it's bending my leg a little bit inwards. That's causing, if you see something like this happening in my hips.
It's called knee valgus, and I also have it without any injuries, so I think that's just the quirk of the anatomy, if anything, and like maybe lack of stability a little bit.
That is just why that happens, you know. It is not balanced totally, and there is hard to get the activation here.
Like I don't have any injuries, but I mean I struggle with glute activation too. So it's like I think it's misattribution of the problem. But so far his goals have been very vague. Like what is he actually like? Okay, it's just improve. Like there is no target. There's just improve. I think you need to have easily measurable and easily like very well defined goals. Like not just add reps to X. Like what is the actual rep target? What's the weight? Like you should have goals for very long term, and you should have goal for the medium term, and you should have goal for the current training block. Like where should you be at the end of the current training block? Because there's the big picture where you're going in a long term, like in a year scale. Like where do you want to end up? And then there is obviously in that current training block you can only go towards one or maybe a couple of goals at most. So, like what are you achieving now? That's the question.
I don't like it. I actually think it's the most painful thing you can do. 12-minute running test, so the Cooper test. My best is, it's not me bragging, but I want to say 3,275 meters back in.
I gotta question that, but you know, when you're 19 or whatever, however old he was, like, suppose it's easier to do.
When I was 17.
Oh, 17.
When I was 19 in the army, I served 1 year in Finland's military as a military police. I did 3,050 meters. 3,000 is always enough for the golden chest mark. That stamp, that thing. And it looks good with your military suit. Stamina, maybe 5 kilometer run test. And also challenges is one thing. Challenge yourself, try to run 10 kilometers.
Okay, so he said he likes 3K and talked about his old, like literally 20-year-old result at this point, but didn't say like what his goal is now.
Can you go 130 BPM heart rate full?
Like again, if you achieved with ease 3,300 or 3,275 meters, why in the previous time you put the effort into it, you couldn't even achieve 2,700? Like, what's going on with that? Was that even a real number that you gave, or did you just completely like botch the training phase? I don't know.
Beat me, please. I promise. I want you to beat me. I want to motivate you to beat me. It's always easy to be big.
Like, honestly, this is just a thin whale to like talk about his whatever good results that he has, and he's not really actually talked about tracking and goals, data points to that much in the end.
Fish.
Like, it's not been a very practical video on like how to do that.
Take care.
Yeah, again, not very information dense. Kind of scattered. Kind of not what was like kind of promised in the video's name, and you know, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's just go to the next one. I've not much really to say about that.
You've seen those crazy 24 to 48 hour transformation photos online. How much of that change is actually real? I decided to test it on myself. End of
Who cares about 48-hour transformation? Like, really? What's the point?
this video. So stay until the end to see what actually happened. Today we are going to see how much weight my body at around 100 kilos loses during 48-hour fast.
So this is gonna be circumstance.
This is my evening weigh-in after eating, drinking fluids and having coffee. What makes this fascinating is that my average morning weight lately has been around 96.5 kilos, so the difference here is pretty big. And trust me, there are even more surprises ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if he's 100 again, I don't know, that seems like not doing very well with the weight loss.
While this test is ongoing.
Very bloated, yeah, but like also like just overfed.
This is gonna be very interesting.
Alright. The next day, a little bit over 12. Let's see what the weight now. I think this has to do with the salt, because my weight is going up. See this? It has to be like salt. I ate yesterday chicken that was very salty.
Yeah, I mean, look at he looks nothing like that in the way we just saw.
Metabolic freedom system at first, or something like that. That's something generic I came up with. And then it's like weekly fasting concept.
I mean, this shit is not working at all if you're 100 kilos still after like how long you've been above 100 kilos. Like I don't know, but like it doesn't work. Like, why do you come up with names to your systems that doesn't work?
And one thing that makes this thing very simple and easy thing to understand and all of that is that you don't really have to count calories. Well, you have to have something, like you just need to eat clean. The principle in this is very
I
much
mean,
that you...
it has not worked. Like, I don't care how the video ends. Like, okay, if you fast, obviously your weight goes down, like temporarily, yeah. But like, if you're in the long term, you're still in the 100 kilos. It's not working, because you know what happened to me with my weight loss. In October I was 83 kilos. In December I was 74, and it's been 74 ever since. It's not jumped back up to 83. So that actually worked. But if you can't break really under that 100 kilo barrier, then what you're doing is not really working. I mean, that's the easy weight loss too, because you're so heavy still. Like, that's the easy weight loss.
You will eat very clean. You eat organic foods.
Doesn't matter how clean you eat if you eat too much.
You eat meat, fish, chicken. You eat a lot of vegetables. I like potatoes personally, even though the glycemic index is a bit higher. But I don't
If you're healthy, you don't have to worry about glycemic index at all.
demonize foods for their glycemic index. I think it's sometimes good to have a more anabolic hormones. Insulin is still anabolic. It's highly growing hormone. It makes you build that muscle, you know. But anyways, let's talk about this. So I showed you just the RM.
It's not exactly true that I eat candy every day still, but I do eat a lot of sugar every day.
So that's resting metabolism. I think it might be a little bit higher with me, and especially if you're a sportsman, I think this number can be 2100, 2200. It can be higher, but don't want to overestimate it. We go with this number. So we have numbers here. So on average, I might train 650, consume 650 kilocalories per day.
I mean, all of this is just guesswork in the end. Like, you don't know your actual metabolic rate. Because for myself, I would consider my metabolic rate to be about 2,400 without exercise. And then, of course, I train about 1,000, maybe a little under 1,000 in actuality. So where my actual, like, maintenance lands has been historically way over 3,000 calories. So that's like figuring it out afterwards. Like, okay, I'm eating 3,700 calories a day on average, and my scale weight is going down. So that means that I'm in deficit. If scale weight is going down, that's when you know you're in a deficit. Your scale weight is going up, you're in a surplus. Scale weight staying same, you're maintaining. You're in the maintenance load. So whichever that's how you need the calorie count to find out. Like, okay, this is actually my maintenance right now, because you know I'm eating however many calories and not losing weight. So all this math means nothing if there's no like practical experimentation involved with it.
5 kilocalories. Even if I overeat 3,000 kilocalories per day. Just stay with the math. These numbers might vary.
Like, I think the better approach is to undereat a little bit on most days, but then like have like big calorie days occasionally to keep the metabolism up. It's a much better approach than this is the inverse.
The trick comes. I fast 36 to 48 hours here, but we go 48 to rounding it up. Saturday and Sunday I fast 48 hours. This is just round number I chose. I like to walk a lot when I do fasting. So 2,500 plus 2,500 is 3,475 kilocalories deficit with this system. And this is important thing. When you're fasting, it might increase your metabolism for 14%.
Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it slow
metabolism down? When 1 kilo of fat is these calories. So if all of these calories would come from fat, this would be 0.45 kilograms per week. So it equates almost 2 kilos per month, even with this system. And you never really counted anything. This fluctuates. I counted it.
Has it resulted in practice in 2 kilos a month? Doesn't look like it. If you're starting the fast at 100 kilos, it doesn't look like it's been working thus far. Because if that's the case, then from the start of the year you should have already lost almost 8 kilos. If that was the actual case,
it can be 3,200 here. Then it can be 2,800. It averages to, let's say, 3,000. But you understand, it can be 3,500. It can be 2,500, as long as you do this fasting. You know, there's so much wiggle room, you see. And you see, this is, I think this is the main point, but many people miss this. It increases the metabolism. It increases. If you go deficit whole week, just the deficit whole week, this is gonna lower your metabolism. That's the point.
So that's why you have the higher carb days to keep the metabolism up. And you know, your metabolism should be primarily driven by your muscle mass and your exercise amounts. It's gonna obviously go down as the weight loss progresses, but that's why you have those higher calorie days to like stimulate it back up as much as possible.
Bottom line, this is what principle I believe. I always believed in like empty stomach training. You can 5x your growth hormone.
Yeah, well, you can believe whatever you want, but the results speak for themselves.
Now, this is what I believe. This is why I'm 30 kilos bigger than my brother. I think that's the whole thing. Why I'm
30. Well, I mean, technically, you are not 30 kilos bigger even if you were at the lower end. Like, seriously, you're trying to brag how good your weight loss system, and then you talk about like how much bigger you are. You're just bigger because you're overweight.
He says I'm fat. I'm just fat. No, I'm just strong. You know,
I mean, did we not see that? Did we not just see the picture? Did we not see this? Did we not just see this? Is this...
It's gonna be very interesting.
Like, let's compare the weight when both have ab veins showing. Let's compare it then. Like how bad is your situation? Is that you have to like go like you have nothing else going for you, that you have a big scale weight? Like how? Like it's actually common. Like people are like their only point of pride is that they have a big number on the scale. Like what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It doesn't. It's ridiculous. That doesn't mean anything.
This is a concept. Weekly fasting concept. Steal this from me. Use this. Because this is
Why would I steal something that didn't even work for you?
Succeed. I did measure everything I ate for 2 years when I was like 23. But I'm kind of consumed by it. I don't care about it.
I mean, 23. When he was 23, he was probably in the best shape of his life. You know, maybe the 17, like 17 and 23. That was the time when he was in the best shape of his life. Like that's the time that you want to follow. Actually, that's the when the methods actually worked.
Being that there might be fluctuations, but always remember this picture. So the picture, like fluids can fluctuate, and it can very rapidly, quickly. All of a sudden, you might lose.
The fluid fluctuation is not going to have an effect on the long-term trend. Again, we're 4 months into the year. Are you 8 kilos down? Well, okay, not full 4 months have not passed, but like you should be, if those numbers were correct, you should be 5-6 kilos lighter now than on January 1st.
Behind
Even
me.
42 is still. It still doesn't even have any ab definition whatsoever.
43 actually, but whatever. It's slowly normalizing, but I'm still not very satisfied with this. Because I already was like...
Yeah, so he's
like
actually put on weight, and he's talking
growing.
about this fasting
Yeah, I
system
was
as if it's gonna
trying to
lose half a kilo of weight
annoying.
a week.
Okay, this starts to be the 48-hour mark.
I'm not completely satisfied seeing the scale at 98.5 kilos.
Wow. Getting back to normal.
Just to stretch this even one step further.
But was he
I'm gonna
101 in the beginning? 100.7. What was that end?
Responds really well to.
Wow. Getting back to normal.
That's a wrong number. That's he lost 3.8 kilos, not 4.1. Well, look, what's with the math here? We can't do simple math here. Well, like, what is this number? Seriously, I'm confused. I mean, it's not that it's like a big change, but like what happened here? He didn't start at 101.
Little mixed feelings here. Energy is low,
What happened
and
to
also
the
my
body fat?
motivation is kind of
We were
low.
supposed to
Also,
get
at the
some-
same time, I'm so light. Every step feels kind of good.
I thought we were supposed to get body fat measurement.
At the same time, still seeing the upside. I'm very sweaty already. 1 point.
I mean, in the end, like these fasting changes, they don't even matter. Like the bloating, unless you have a constant bloating problem, it doesn't matter. Like that's gonna fluctuate. Like who cares? What matters is the long-term trend.
6 kilometers to the run.
Let's see how low we hit.
Do you see this? 95.7. So this is gonna be 5.3 kilos lost.
So he's
from
just extremely
Saturday
dehydrated
morning.
right
This was the
now.
highest, I think, 100.
When he's fully hydrated, it's 100 kilos again.
Did that run?
It doesn't look good.
So this is 5.3 kilo difference.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of bizarre that there was like bad math there, and like what's the point of any of this? Like, why would you just want to lose 5 kilos in 2 days and then rebound back to your normal weight? Like you're not. Maybe he feels like he has achieving something where he's causing these big fluctuations, but he's not really doing anything there. So it's and the whole system talk, like that's just nonsense. Like he's not losing weight. He's not losing weight if he's starting at 100, the challenge at 100 kilos. And, you know, bragging about being heavier, like that's an empty brag if it doesn't, like what's the results actually? What is the result? But yeah, not very information dense videos. Obviously the thumbnails are straight up horrific, some of them. And you know, it's interesting that one video had that sound issue too. But the weight loss thing could be actually an interesting video, but like he doesn't really like track. He doesn't give us exact measurements there. Let's go back to that weight loss video actually. This is from last year. Last year it was 97 kilos. Am I reading that right?
I have this.
It's frustrating, but those are 2025 measurements, right? So he's like 97 there, and then he's 100 kilos. He's clearly not gotten half a kilo a month, half a kilo a week weight loss there. It's just inaccurate. Like he talks about measurements in that other video, and then he doesn't actually like provide any fitness measurements from himself, which that would actually be interesting, since a lot of these videos are very self-indulgent. Like he's talking about just his own training, what he himself thinks. So they are self-indulgent videos, but like what you as a viewer could get value out of it would be like the exact measurements, like what's actually happening. Now obviously in the 48-hour video he documents the short-term changes very meticulously, but those short-term changes don't really matter. Like obviously you're gonna see a shift in the body if you dehydrate yourself for 48 hours. You know, actually beyond that. But you know, again, looking at this video with the picture here, it's like it's completely inaccurate to what it actually looks like. Like nobody's gonna wanna click to this video. It's like they look at like, oh my god, look at this guy, he's so fucking ripped. And then it's like, what is this fat guy here? Just be honest. Like it's okay to be a fat guy and talk about fitness if you're just honest about it. Like yeah, I'm a little out of shape right now, but like, you know, I'm trying to get back on track. But like don't pretend with like this fake body. Like you have the body you have. Like be honest about it. Like this is what I do, this is where it got me. And be honest about the failings too. Like okay, I guess he was honest about that he didn't feel happy with the 48-hour fast result. But you know, it can't even do that much when you're at that high body fat percentage, when you're around 30%. But yeah, I suppose that's why he I suppose that's why he didn't do the body fat measurement in the end. He was talking about going to the in-body measurement. He obviously didn't do it because he hasn't lost the weight to the target that he had, to 95 kilos, which he would have lost to if the system actually worked like he advertised it to work. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got something out of it. I hope my comments at least added a little bit of information density to videos that weren't so information dense to start with. And yeah, see you next time.